G'day travellers and welcome back. We still find ourselves here at mclaren Vale, the mclaren Vale Discovery Parks, and we've just come over to the area where there's a little bit of pickleball set up. There's also a tennis court and a soccer goals. So we're just over here at the moment. We're playing a little bit of soccer. There's also a volleyball court set up and a basketball ring, swimming pool and a playground. We'll go have a look at them very shortly. It's coming into a nice day, even though it's only still meant to get to about 24 degrees today. The sun's come out and that cloud's started to break up. Near the playground they've got a nice big fire pit. During winter they've got a lake just on the other side of this fence. At the moment, being summertime, it's a bit empty. There's a LPG barbecue just near the fire pit, overlooking the swimming pool. And in the playground, they've repurposed an old jet ski and an old boat. That's something you don't usually see in the playground. So towards the back of the caravan park is the camp kitchen. They have a couple of fridges in here. Barbecue area inside, a few sinks, bit of meal prep area, microwave, and a table tennis set. So it's a nice little area for a bit of get together. There's also a TV in here, so if you do get bored, there is a few activities to do around this park. So we've come across the swimming pool. It's got a nice little spa here. And then the swimming pool that's about 1.1 to 1.3 I think it says in the middle. So that's not too big. Mind you, the swimming pool isn't heated here, but it's nice and relaxing. Kids have found a couple of pool noodles that they got sitting alongside the swimming pool, so they're having a bit of fun with them.
How can I reach in that new car? I can reach. I can. How can I reach and you can't reach?
So we've just done a little short trip out from mclaren Vale to a little area called Port Noarlunga. It's about 10-15 minute drive from mclaren Vale. Down here, the South Aussie with Cozzy giraffe is here. That was kindly donated to the area from South Aussie with Cozzy. And also at this area we have a playground, big wooden playground. There's also an adventure playground here, which is more nature based, and then your normal slip and slide and swings. If you're into your water sports, Port Noarlunga is a very good spot for that. It's a great place for kayaks, stand-up paddleboards, or just to teach the kids how to fish. The Onkaparinga River runs through this area, runs around and meets up with the ocean just in the distance past those hills. So it's a great little spot. During high tide it can get a bit full, so I'd always suggest wearing a life jacket with your kids. But it's a very safe, controlled area. No motorboats are allowed in this area, so it's very good for you little ones. So on the other side of the bridge, you can paddle all the way along here and catch bream and that in here. Still salt water. So just up the road from Salix, if you follow the road along Salix Hill, you'll come across the Buddhist temple. It's probably one of the largest ones in Australia, I'm guessing. It's been in construction for a fair while now. And just up here is the actual Buddha. So we've just come through a scenic route to get down to this little spot down at the end of Fleurieu Peninsula, known as Deep Creek National Conservation Park. We come through Salix, Yankalilla, Second Valley, and turned off at Delamere just before you hit Rapid Bay, and it brings you into this little area here. There's low-cost camping in here and lots of walking trails that you can go through. There's also a nursery here that you can go have a look at some of the plants while you're here. So we stopped off at Stringy Bark campsite. This is campsite 4. They're pretty well-sized campsites. Being summer, there's no fires you're allowed to have here, but it looks like they've got a a spot here that maybe during winter you'll be able to use as a campfire. It's nice and flat where you'd put your caravan or tents or motorhome. But they're definitely large enough to hold a few people. So there's plenty of walkways around the area. There's a couple of spots where it's only four-wheel drive accessible, but for this campsite especially, any vehicle will be able to get down there. If you head down to the blowhole, that is a four-wheel drive only spot. And just remember to take it easy when you are traveling down that way, because it is a rather steep descent. It is a pretty peaceful, tranquil walk along here. Especially seeing I left the grandkids in the car. That's very peaceful. Now there is a toilet block and shower block up here. So all those that need a bit of creature comfort will still be able to get. So the two tracks we've gone on today are quite accessible by car. So everything up to this video so far you can do in a two-wheel vehicle. You don't need a four-wheel drive to go do. So 5 minutes down the road from Aldinga is Port Noarlunga. Nice little alcove here. There are a few surfers out there at the moment catching a few waves. They're not the real big ones. So there's a nice steady staircase that will take you up and down to Port Noarlunga on the beach. At the very top of the staircase is a restaurant named the Star of Greece. It's a Greek restaurant named after a ship that sunk here at Port Noarlunga in 1888. 18 people unfortunately lost their lives on that ship. And just in front of us is one of the most iconic photos you'll find of Port Noarlunga. Is the original old jetty. So along here, near the ruins of the old jetty, there's some boat caves where the boat fishermen used to store their boats. So just going inside one of the larger caves that are here, you can see all the grooves notched out in the rock face. It'd be amazing if the walls in this could talk. All the stories it would tell of all the people that have stayed in here. This one even has a little room off to the side of it. So it's New Year's Eve. We've got up fairly early this morning and we'll come down to goowla Beach. Just in the process of laying down the tyres. We've got a set of 4 tyre deflators that I've currently got on, setting them down to 20 PSI. Goowla Beach is one of the bigger beaches you can drive on here in the Fleurieu. Shuffle around in the sand, you'll come across a cockle, if you're lucky, or a pippy, and they have to be about 3.5 centimetres across from width to width. So this one's fine. So there's a bit of free bait for us for later. Occasionally when you do a bit of a dig, just be mindful, you might actually grab a crab instead of a cockle. So we've come down to Goowla Mouth on Goowla Beach side. Just set up over here, both the cars with the awnings out. Another group just across from us. And we've got a couple of lines out, I've got one big line out. Not feeling really lucky today, but we'll see how we go. There's a couple of boats out here fishing. Lucas has brought his bike along and Jasmine's got a little cart. Well, Lady Luck wasn't on our side today. Besides a little puffer fish and a couple of crabs, there wasn't much else going on. A few bites and that, but yeah, obviously we're all too small to catch today, so better luck next time anyway. So this will be our last trip down to Goowla Beach. And just as I say that, we're looking at a Ranger that's a bit stuck. So after coming back from Goowla Beach, we had a bit of a drive along there, picked up some cockles. We've just stopped off for lunch at Goowla. We stopped off at the river. Which we drove along this beach here. And we're just up here. So we're just driven across the High Marsh Island Bridge over to High Marsh Island. We'll come down to the Murray Mouth. So we were driving on those sand dunes just on the other side of the water here. That was Goowla Beach. They have a cafe set up over here with some live music, kayak hire. The tide's out at the moment a bit, which is nice. So after a full-on day of being down at Goowla and High Marsh Island, we went back to McLaren Vale, gave the cars a bit of a clean up and gave ourselves a bit of a clean up, and we've headed back down to Victor Harbour. They have a 9 o'clock fireworks for the kids, so we're going to stop and see that, and then we'll see you in the new year back at the caravan park. way back to McLaren Vale, we stopped off at Aldinga just to have some dinner and have a look at the beach. Being a public holiday and the weather's nice, it is fairly busy. Australia Day is probably one of the busiest days they have down here. You can usually find it about 3 cars deep. The lines along here. Lucas just getting his feet wet. It looks like a news reporter is setting up to do the weather cross probably. So just in between Noarlunga and Aldinga is the Aldinga airfield. They have a little site here called Adelaide Biplanes. They do some scenic flights. You can stop to have a little bit of a lunch by the looks of it. Prices are pretty reasonable. And we can see the aeroplanes all lined up near the airfield. So we have the Shark Patrol aeroplane just in front of us. That patrols most of the beaches along here in the Fleurieu, just keeping us safe. So we're going for a bit of a drive back towards Brighton Way. We stopped at Hallett Cove. Hallett Cove has got to be probably one of the rockiest beaches you'll find in South Australia. Pretty much don't see any sand here. So some nice barbecue areas here. Bit of a playground. And toilet amenities. So on our way back, we've done a bit of a detour. We stopped up at the Cube at Derenberg. It's a very interesting shaped building. And a couple of sculptures that they've got out the front. Over on the grassed area, I've got a few more different sculptures. It's be a nice little spot to sit down, have a wine or a gin. Nice little gin bar here. Interesting use for old boots. So as the sun goes down, another glorious night in the Fleurieu Peninsula, we say goodbye and see you on our next episode.